You're live.
Share it with our channel. Are you watching the chat?
Yes.
Man, I don't even see the upcoming live.
I just don't. It says waiting.
Like, I don't see it on my chat. I just shared it today. So where the hell did it go?
Hey.
Oh. Is anybody here?
Farmer Chad's very spooky looking.
Ooh. Well, I set it up like that. You know what? We don't know what we're doing. So, we're trying to figure it out. Like,
it's our first live, guys.
Yeah, it didn't come up on the computer. Like, we were waiting for something magical to happen, and it never. Hi, I'm Amanda. Sports and urban farming. It's 1, 2 people. Okay, we're gonna talk about witches. But can't I just like wait for a few minutes? People might show up. What have you done today, Farmer Chaz? Go look over there. Over there. She said go to your page and go to live.
I did.
We did. It was just sitting there and not starting. So we panicked and just did a new one. Can you share?
I just started live. It's
Did
fine.
you share me?
Go with the flow. You're good.
Okay. My daughter's writing down a little information. We thought we were ready, you know. Let's see here. I picked ghosts first because I have 2 experiences with ghosts. First one is really personal, and it's my grandpa. I called him Papa. He died in 1986, February 19th. He had gotten Alzheimer's. He was a great man. He was a cattleman. He was a horseman. People would buy his cows from states away. And he taught me to ride a horse. He put me on my first horse. And technically, I drove my first vehicle because he put this, like the Ford truck in first gear and let it granny down the hill, you know. And I would steer it until we came to the part where we're almost going into the creek, and he'd turn us around and we'd go the other way. He was a great man. I consider him like my father figure because I didn't have a dad. So I got told when I was 7, which was about 2 years before he died, that he had that disease. And it went really fast after that. So I have a feeling like he had it for a while. They knew he had it for a while. I didn't get told. And I only got to spend like spring and fall breaks out there, or summer. Summer was like, I was there the whole time. My mom worked. She was an x-ray tech. So I was there barefoot and running wild. And they had either had 140 acres, 160 acres. And he shepherded me all over the place. I went by myself a lot. I went fishing. So it was upsetting for me when he got sick. You know, the horses had to be sold, or they went to my uncle's house, and then the cows were there just kind of to make him happy. He couldn't go out and work them. They had to take his truck keys away and all that good stuff. It was really upsetting to everybody. So he had died, and we went through all that, and all the family was there, you know. And I remember going back to school. That summer I spent out there. And so the blue bedroom, it was my grandma and grandpa's bedroom where they slept together. When he got the way he got, she couldn't rest sleeping with him.
Say hello to Just Asking for a Friend.
Hello, Just Asking. So she couldn't rest sleeping with him. So like she'd sleep in a room right across the way. But I still slept with him some when I was there before he got too bad. So I was really close to him. I know it sounds kind of weird. I was his special. He said I reminded him of his sister Aunt Jo, who was the youngest girl of their little clan. So anyway, I got up and started to sleep in that room. Now I want to say it was like the first time since he had passed away. I'm not sure about that. I was 9 when he passed. And so I woke up the next morning after sleeping there in that bed, and you know how you are, you wake up, and I just sort of looked over, and Grandma had a hair drying, what do you call them? Go to the beauty shop, the thing comes down over your head. She had one of those because her sister is a hairdresser. Grandma was like, I need that in my life. So she'd make us like roll up her hair and she'd go sit in that thing, or she'd put like stuff on our hair and she'd make us go sit in that thing. Well, I look over and there is my grandpa in like a church outfit, like going to church with the nice button up, and he always wore jeans or nice slacks and his white cowboy hat, the summertime cowboy hat. And I just looked at him. And I was like, oh, looking at him, and still just to this day, it really bothers me to talk about it. It really does. But he turned his head to where it looked like he was going to look at me, and I just got so scared. I erupted and I ran out the room. And I went, there's a love seat in the living room. My mom, my grandma in there, and said, what's wrong with you? Said, nothing. Nothing is wrong. Nothing happened, And I just kind of kept it to myself. I wasn't going to tell my grandma that I had seen him in there. And I have often wondered was that real? Was that a ghost? Was that a memory imprint? Was it God, like, giving me a last look? Was it a dream? And even if it was a dream, was it still all of those things? And to this day, I feel bad that I got scared.
Farmer Chad says she would have ran too.
Yeah. Don't look at me, looking at you.
When you finally did tell your grandma about it.
When I finally told my grandpa, she said, well, why were you scared? And I said, because he was dead. He wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know how to feel about that. So, like, that's a lot. It's hard to tell. Whew. It's hard to be on camera too, y'all. And I'm so glad, like, my husband's big head is like in front of my computer screen, so I can't really see myself. This is good. This is how I need to have it. Kudos to us for making this little. Come on.
I'm trying.
Do you see my
a big head?
Do you see my print? This is a Roswell print.
Yours?
It's not a print. She says it's a real newspaper. It is mine. It's my daughter's. She got it at a thrift store, but it has captures flying saucer on ranch. That's because next week I like to talk about flying saucers. And yes, I have seen those too. I'm not really happy that I have.
Anyone's in the shop.
I look like the kind of woman who probably lives in a trailer and wears muumuus and sees UFOs. And I am very aware of this.
You had a muumuu on an hour ago.
I did have a muumuu on an hour ago. This is technically a muumuu. I thought black would be fitting. And y'all know, Halloween's coming. I don't sit around contemplating ghosts all the time. I just happen to have a couple experiences with ghosts. And I was wondering, you are pretty. Thank you. I'm going to buy me. Girl, it's Cece's fault. Cece, and I don't know, a bunch of her ladies she knows, they had a muumuu challenge. And I got one, but it was toward the end, of it all. And I was like, I don't know about really being. I don't like to be in my bed. Look at me, I'm holding it like I'm looking at it. I am looking at it.
So
there's like a delay.
Yeah, you just watch.
Wow. All right.
Watch the comments.
You know what? Technology is what it is. I'm gonna buy me a muumuu. She says, I would have ran to you. Go to your page. Go to live. Y'all, we just tried. We tried so hard. All right. Now, I got another ghost story. This one, my husband can kind of participate. We had been married, I think it was a year to the day.
Yeah, it was our 1 year anniversary.
And if y'all can do the math, I had a baby that was about 2 months old, so. There was some stuff going on. But we went to Arkansas because he used to live there. He lived in, where'd you live? Bearable? Bearable.
About
Arkansas.
9 miles east of Eureka Springs.
Cheryl lives in Arkansas, I think, or Missouri. Anyway, we stayed at the Crescent Hotel. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and minimize the comments here. No, I didn't have to do that. Y'all leave me alone.
I was laughing about Penny and her garbage.
Norman Baker. This man named Norman Baker, he lived in like Iowa. His family was rich. He was an entrepreneur, a kind of inventor. And he had a couple of radio stations for whatever reason here and there. Stop it. You want to get up and get in line? Come on, come show your face. Mama is so nervous.
Making whoopee cushion noises down there playing with the dog.
There you go. Now, he had seen this guy in Kansas City who claimed to have a cure for cancer. So he ran around and stole his idea. And he went from state to state. I'm not sure what all states he went to. He ended up in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and he saw opportunity. Really beautiful town if you've ever been there. And he bought this estate. Okay, let me get to it. His hospital years.
Girl, you're a floating head. Get in the chair.
Okay. It was in 1937. He went to the spa resort town of Eureka Springs. And he bought a resort called the Crescent Hotel, previously a haven for the rich, but had fallen into disrepair. This is Wikipedia. So he come up with a cure for cancer. And when we stayed at the Crescent Hotel, it was also tuberculosis. Like he did the cancer bit, he did the tuberculosis. And he had different wards. So he'd keep people like really heavily sedated. And he'd like give them a concoction that said that it was going to cure them, and these people died. A lot of people. And it wasn't just in Eureka Springs, but that was where he was. That was like the biggest amount. And I don't know how many people died there. Just a lot of people died there. And they had a morgue. Like he refashioned this estate to be a hospital. And when we stayed there, it was before the latest renovations. So I have no idea what it really even looks like now. And it was it was a nice place to stay, but you could tell it was a little shabby. Like 70s and 80s was the last time it had been done. And this was what, 97? Okay, yes. So we stayed on the 3rd floor. I think we stayed on the west wing, which is, I think this is right. When you're looking at the hotel and you look at pictures of it, we were staying up here. If you're looking at it, the top right. And you'll see that there's a catwalk that goes all the way down. So we got in our room, and as you looked out, like I said, it was the front of the hotel. You could look out and see where we parked. There's gardens and stuff, but really the pretty spot of the outside of the hotel is back behind it.
It's like the statuary garden.
Statuary garden. So we go in there and we put our stuff away, and we go to these, they have caves there in Arkansas. Couple, 10 or 15 minutes here or there. You've got a couple of caves. We went to a place called the Onyx Cave and went down on that, and it's really beautiful and cool. We got a couple of cool rocks. And we come back, watch TV, settle in for the night.
Turpentine Creek.
We went to Turpentine Creek. That's also around there if you go to Arkansas. So, we hear something. It's at night, and it's in March. It's cold outside at night, but it's not particularly cold in the room. We didn't have a heater on, okay? And I had just had a baby. High hormones. So, we heard something going clang, clang, clang outside, and we look, and there's a fire escape. You can see it in the picture, and that's why I mentioned where we had stayed. 3rd floor. There was nothing out there, and it just kept doing it. Eventually, the curtain blows out. like I said, the heater and the air conditioner, there was nothing on. So that scared us. And he had told me all these stories about it, and I'll let him fill you in of his experiences. There was a fire alarm in the room.
Smoke alarm.
Smoke alarm. It started beeping. Like the battery was going out. Beep. Beep. That with the curtain. I was like, I just feel like I need to get out of here for a minute, I guess it was a little bit creepy. And I had my experience. Wasn't looking for no more. So we go down the lobby, and we there's furniture down there, a little couch, sitting there, and there's a cat. There is a hotel cat. I don't remember really what it looked like. This cat was like chasing a moth around, and you know how cats, I call it sundowning. It's like that one scary movie where the grandma was like sundowning. She wasn't really their grandma. Anyway, so cats sundown. If you know cats, they know they sundown. If you got them in the house, they act like nuts. And it was just playing with that moth. It's lighthearted and fun. And my guard's let down, and all of a sudden the cat stops and stares at the back. It's like all this glass, and there's doors that go out. It stops and stares, and there's this thing that looks like, you go up and you stand by a window at night, and you'll kind of see yourself reflected back. It looked like there was a woman standing in the room with us, and she was reflected back. It was like the wispy kind of, and the cat was just sitting there staring, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm going to go back to my room, and I'm going to bed. And when we got back, the room across the hall, the door was open. We didn't see anybody in there. And the fire smoke alarm was beeping, just like ours was. And then ours was not when we got back, and we had not told anybody. So that was enough for me to think that it was weird. But I went to sleep. The next day, we did some more things. He had friends that lived in town, so we partied with them. But when we got back to the room that night, there was some chocolate on the bed, and there was a little pamphlet, and it has facts about the hotel, and that part of the hotel had been damaged in a fire that we stayed in. So that sealed it. That place is weird. And unless they got somebody running around and they're paying them a little on the side to go ahead and they choose someone that looks likely, which, by the way, would have been me, like I said. I look likely. I look like, I seen it. It took my daughter. If anything happens to Haley, it was a UFO. So that's my two stories. Now, where's that? Give me that thing with the phone. I want to see the chat now.
Nobody's saying anything.
Nobody's saying anything? Did I tell a good story? Is anybody still here?
No. Armor Chad's here.
Yeah, that was two things.
They're just asking. Yeah, they're still here.
Now, what was your experience of the hotel? I got a microphone here. Can y'all hear me? I got it detachable for my camera.
Well, when I was just out of high school, I went to college for just a little while and ended up dropping out. And I went to Arkansas and moved to Berryville, which is 9 miles east of Eureka Springs. Well, me and my buddies, it was the only wet county in the middle of a bunch of dry counties. So needless to say, we were up no good. But we would go over to Eureka Springs and hang out because it was like a tourist town, and it was pretty fun. Well, we heard about the Crescent and its reputation. We decided, well, let's go check this out. And of course, you got to wait till night to do it. Well, we go in there, and our very first time in there, we're just walking around looking at stuff, and they have one of who painted that painting, the Blue Boy?
I don't know. Let's say Renoir.
Anyway, they had the Blue Boy painting hanging on the landing, and it like creeped us out. I mean, I don't know if it was something weird.
I saw that painting.
I don't know if it's something about the picture or if it's just the picture itself. It really creeped us out. Well, we go down and we go into the dining room. And the dining room is pitch black.
Thomas Gainsborough.
It's
Thomas Gainsborough.
It's a really big dining room, like a ballroom type setting. When we get in there and it's pitch black, and we're just kind of standing there taking in the atmosphere, and we hear this noise, and it sounds like one of those old metal wind-up toys, kind of a rattling. Anyway, we knew there couldn't be one of those in there because, it's pitch black, middle of the night, and those hadn't been around for years. Well, we turn around and start walking back across this pitch black dining room, and we hear another noise, and my friends were freaking out and saying, "Man, what is that?" I don't know if any of y'all have ever been around a grandfather clock, but when they wind themselves, that noise they make, I had heard it a lot in my childhood, so I knew what it was. These guys had never heard it before, so they were about to run the hell off. Well, we go over there, and there is no grandfather clock. So it's like, okay, that's kind of freaky. So we decided it's time for us to go. We go out in the lobby, and one of my buddies is really freaking out. And he's trying to compose himself for a minute, and he's standing there with his hands on his knees, taking deep breaths. And I know it wasn't that bad, but he was freaking out. And he raises up, and he looks over in the mirror beside him, and there's this bald head floating above the check-in counter. And he screamed like a little girl. And we turn around, and it's the hotel guy. He had been reclined in a chair behind the desk. And he raised up, and all you could see was his head above the desk. And my buddy screamed. He started dying laughing. It was just a hilarious thing, it don't sound as good now, but if you'd have been there, it was great. But
if you guys ever wanted to go see that, now they give ghost tours and stuff. And I think once a year I saw online they have a lockdown. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be locked up in there. But it wasn't like, it was scary. It was scary. But I didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I didn't feel that way about Grandpa either, but it did scare me. Because that's not natural. Do you think it was a dream, my grandpa? Do you think it was real?
I guess being as young as we were, we could rule out drugs.
I was thinking that. I was thinking also, I see dead people.
You see Farmer Ched's comment?
What?
Yeah.
I don't go to scary places.
I'm a runner.
Well, so was JJ. That's a buddy of mine that freaked out and had to catch his breath.
Well, so we wrote down some famous, I think I might have skewed my camera a little bit, but hopefully it's all right. We wrote down some famous witches, famous places for witches.
Hang on. I got another story to go into.
Got another story.
It's kind of a ghost story. I think you'll like this, guys. Many of you will remember this when I started.
My emotional support snack.
Out by the town she grew up in is an old Butterfield station. It's called Mountain Station, and there's a big old cemetery there.
Oh, now you're gonna join?
And
Just the cameras.
I had my emotional support snack and my iced tea.
anyway, we go to Mountain Station, and there's supposed to be a witch buried in Mountain Station Cemetery. And she is supposed to, like, her spirit's supposed to rise from the grave, and it. Needless to say, it's a big place for all the young weirdos to go to. We were all out there one
We were
night,
weirdos.
and it was me and her and another couple. And we're just kind of testing our nerve, we go out there and sit on a table out there in the middle of Mountain Station Cemetery in the middle of
No
the
moon.
It is dark as a dungeon. Well, we don't see nothing. So we're going back to the car. Me and the guy are walking in front, and the girls are walking behind us, yakking like geese. But we line up with the car, and we're about, 20 yards from the car. And we see this thing standing there behind the car, and it looked like a very large man with his arms held out. And he was swaying back and forth. Just swaying. And we was like, oh Lord, what is that? You know, and we start freaking out. We just freeze. And we sat there. It seemed like forever. I'm sure it was only a couple of minutes thinking, what are we going to do? And about the time the women come up and they see it and they're freaking out. So finally, me and this guy was like, well, we have to get to the car. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what. I said, we will rush the car. When we get there, I will jerk the door open. You dive in. There's a flashlight to pass your floorboard.
They had a plan.
And
They probably drew
when you
out
come out the
crayons
passenger side, hit it with a flashlight. So we run up there, and everything goes as planned. It's like some G.I. Joe stuff. I jerk the door open. TJ dives in, and he rolls, like in one motion out the other side with the flashlight, flips it on, and it's a longhorn cow standing on the other side of the fence behind the car with his head moving back and forth. We felt so stupid. But it was scary at the time, dang it.
It looked ungodly. It looked ungodly.
Who heck would say, but how's that a ghost though?
How's that a ghost?
It's not a ghost.
It was the idea of a ghost.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah.
So if you like ghost stories, you can check out some of these. We got the Bell Witch of Tennessee, Resurrection Mary of Chicago. I really don't know about her. She sounds very interesting.
She's like a teenager who supposedly died on prom night.
She's one of the
She's wearing
people
a white
on the
dress.
road, huh?
Yeah, the road people. This is
There's a lot of towns
Urban
that have
legend
road
thing.
people.
like people, especially women in white who are like walking on the road. They're always hitching a ride. Well, that's what Mary's doing. She's hitching a ride. And supposedly she gets in the car with you and she asks to be taken to Resurrection Cemetery.
Yes, so this is a specific place. And I know Miss T said
Is it everywhere?
Miss T said she was going to go to Chicago for some reason. I swear she did. I want her to go and tell me if she sees that lady there.
You don't let hitchhikers in your cars.
No hitchhikers.
Anyway,
Don't pick her up.
you take her
That's
to
not
the
lady.
cemetery, but she's not in the car when you get there. She just disappeared. That's what she does. She doesn't hurt you or nothing.
Make you hurt yourself.
No.
Running away.
Like if I saw a woman and a baby, I might give her a ride.
It depends.
She's
that
supposedly
kind of
like a really
situation.
young-looking girl, like 16 years old, in a white prom dress, walking on the side of the road. Like, so clearly someone who's not supposed to be walking on the side of a road. So most people would go, "Hey, lady, why are you walking on the side of a road?" And she asked for a ride. Are you not going to give this 16-year-old girl who is on the side of a road and vulnerable, mind you, a ride? Probably in a low-cut gown.
She can't get her out either.
Yo, but I've been broke down a few times and I've had someone give me a ride, though I have been scared to get in the car. I mean, I gladly took it and got help. And, I'm alive.
You brought me with you on a lot of those trips. Never take your child hitchhiking.
I call 911 on the way and say there's a woman with a baby on the highway.
No, you wouldn't. I know you're.
All right.
What? You'd pull over.
The ghost of Abraham Lincoln is supposed to be running around the White House, y'all. Oh, also that theater where he got taken out. The ghost of Abraham Lincoln is supposed to be there.
It's a nice way to stay shot
Yeah.
in the head. The guy who. Sorry.
If someone was
Just
with me.
asking if someone was with her.
Remember
The
ever?
guy who shot him is supposedly haunting, like, the theater, too.
I'm just saying it would depend on
There's a lot of bitterness in that story.
the circumstances. I mean, the lady in the white dress on the side of the road, never a good deal.
Well, now there was this crazy woman that lived at Red Oak when we lived there. I'd give
Crazy
her.
woman.
She was a crazy woman. She was harmless crazy though. She was just eccentric, like I'm eccentric. I would give her a ride. She'd be coming back with her groceries, and I'd give her a ride.
Yeah, but if you passed a woman on the side of the road in a white prom dress or a long white nightgown.
No, that's a lot different.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Situation.
I'm just.
No, she's in a prom dress, like you think she's on her way to prom, something happened. That's supposedly what happened.
If
She
it's
got
prom
killed on
season.
prom night. That's supposedly the time she appears. She's supposed to appear during prom season. Like she's like an annual thing.
Farmer Chance, I'd pass the car.
It's the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. I don't have any fancy
I
things.
picked up
I don't
a
think
guy
that's interesting enough.
Wow.
as a small child once.
What?
Just asking says the lady used her baby as a way to rob people that gave her a ride, and she messed it up for everyone. I didn't hear about that, but it makes
Wow.
sense. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I gave a gentleman a ride who was carrying his little like toddler daughter in like 100-degree heat, and
Ew.
I tell you something, nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happened.
I didn't condone
He was carrying groceries
that at
too.
all.
So like, I mean, also I always size it up in these situations. I'm like, can I take you on if I have to? I've never had to take anybody on, but you know.
Do you like judge people by their appearance, whether or not you'd give them a ride?
Yeah, there's like a
You
ratio.
can't help it, dude.
Like if he had been like Bing Rames, I would not have picked him up. So it's
Couldn't
like,
help
no,
it.
not doing it.
All
I don't care
right,
if he does have a baby with him.
let's
I'll pick
move
the baby
on.
up. Also, I'll take
Y'all,
the
there's
baby.
a lot of great people walking them highways, apparently. So this ain't the first ghost story I've
No.
heard of people that ask for
The
road
little
rides.
community
and
I
stuff.
grew up in,
Hey,
they
Lou.
had one of those. No, it was out in High Hill, out in the. I went to Haleyville school. I grew up out in High Hill, out in the woods, you know.
What were they doing in High Hill?
Anyway, they had, and a lot of communities have them,
Hello.
a crybaby bridge, where you're supposed
Lots of crybaby bridges.
where you're supposed to be able to see a woman in a long white dress roaming around sides of the road and hear a baby crying from the bridge. It was a creepy situation. I mean, it was great to go out there for fun, but we never saw anything. But I mean, that just goes. And this bridge was called Crybaby Bridge, and I've heard of so many of them since then.
It's
So
like the.
there's something to the whole woman in
I'm
white.
sorry.
And what's the Spanish one? La Llorona?
La Llorona.
But the thing is, you get a lot of
Yeah,
that
I was gonna bring her up for
collective
La
folk
for
tale.
the.
Just asking says I carry, but they still can't get it right.
Dad's all like leading the plot.
Well, if
ahead
it's
of
a
time.
ghost, you can't be shooting it.
You can't be
Sure you
shooting
can.
it. If it's shaped like a human, don't shoot it unless it threatens you. That's a good policy.
You got to be able to see on the other side of what you're shooting, though. That's a.
Well, if they're a ghost, you
Firearm
can see on the other
101.
side of it immediately.
If you can see through it and it looks human, you.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant, you need to be aware of what's behind. You know what I mean? You need to, where are you shooting? What's there? Because you might miss.
But there's always a crybaby bitch. There's always a woman walking on the side of the road, and then there's always that
There's always
the
a
hill with the children.
a
Like
spirit
a
looking
school
for
bus
kids.
crash,
Well, like I said,
and the children push the car up the hill now.
All right, y'all hijacked my list. I had a specific
Crybaby
list.
Bridge.
You're trying to fill time anyway.
Just Ashley says I don't miss. That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all, I'm trying to get to an hour. I'm doing this for watch time, and I don't know how it counts.
Just asking. That's called gun control.
It is called.
Hit what you're aiming at.
Yeah. Oh, not the other kind of gun
Exactly.
control.
Gun control means
Just,
hitting where you aim.
I'm a pretty good shot.
This is true, but like, I gotta say, for like safety's sake, here, people, you see like a girl on the side of the road in a white prom dress, maybe don't shoot at her.
Not unless she does something freaky.
That's what I'd be saying here.
Her
That's
head
all I'm
spins
saying.
around. She's in trouble.
If her head spins around and she doesn't harm you, still don't kill her. We don't know what just happened to her.
I know what's going to happen to her.
Probably she's gonna fall down the hill dead of a broken neck if she's human, and if not, just keep driving.
Damn sure ain't getting no ride regardless.
Hey,
Okay.
watch the language. All right, here we go. I want to talk about Sarah Winchester, because she's not a ghost, but what she did was creative. She married the Winchester gunman. His family had done,
The Winchester gunman. I think
yeah, he done the Winchester guns is what he did. And this is cool. It's not cool. It's weird. Her husband, her mother-in-law, died all within,
and her baby.
her baby died within the year of each other. I'm not sure who was first and who was last, but all that did happen. Of course, people were dying for whatever reasons back then, but it made Sarah really,
It's back when the leading cause of death
it
was
made her
January.
spooky. It made her spooky. So, I think I heard that she consulted a spiritualist type woman
Medium.
who told her that she needed to keep building on that mansion to atone for, or maybe she even felt that she had to atone for deaths that might have been caused from the Winchester gun. It's really cool. We segued into guns, see, somehow.
Which
I'm
I
not
always
even
thought was
sure
kinda wrong.
how were we even talking about guns to begin with.
Because Just Asking says she carried.
That's right. All right. All
She
right.
don't miss.
It's just
I always thought
asking.
this was kind of wrong, of the ghosts.
But
They don't have any discrimination. Who
Okay,
man.
stop. Listen. Okay, Sarah Winchester. So she kept building on her house. I don't know how many rooms she had, but she kept doing things like she had 13 fireplaces, and not all of them had chimneys. So she kind of toyed with the idea of ways in and out for spirits and doors that went nowhere or wings that got built on and then boarded back up.
Ways to make the spirits get lost so they wouldn't find her seance room. And this is all because the medium told her, if you ever stop building, the spirits will kill you. Well, that's the myth. Nobody's really sure if she ever did go to a medium.
I don't know if she wrote this down and said
she built
this
a
is what
house.
happened.
It's a big house. Staircases go nowhere. Doors open into like 20-foot drops or into the kitchen.
And this house survived.
So like nobody knows why.
Survived a big I think it's in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. San Francisco earthquake.
They had a huge earthquake. So that thing got messed up.
She got stuck in her bedroom during that earthquake. And it like traumatized her for life.
I always thought it was a cool
And she
story.
like sealed up that bedroom and like didn't go in there anymore and didn't even bother to fix it. She just kind of went, nope, not going in there again.
Imagine getting trapped in your own house.
It really like threw her for a loop.
But it was a mansion.
Cause she was a recluse. It was just her place of safety. And now she just got. That's really messed up.
Now
This
see,
is also messed up.
Fleetwood Mac has a song called Sarah.
I
and
thought
in
that
it-
was about.
She says, "When you build your house, I'll come by."
And I thought for the longest time it was about Sarah Winchester.
Yeah.
Nobody had ever told me different.
But it's not.
And then I like read later that it's totally not about Sarah Winchester. But a
Now,
lot of parallels.
Girl wrote down.
Girl. You already said my name earlier.
I did not.
Nobody's protecting my goods now. You maybe come on camera already.
Well, they don't know us legally, hopefully. Whoever they is. I want other people to watch this maybe someday. I'm not going to watch this back. I feel like I have been a mess. All right, here's the papers.
I feel like I look like a gingerbread person on camera.
You want to read it?
I just have like a really round head and really big eyes.
I can barely read. It's dark in here. The Myrtles. Haley wants to talk about the Myrtles. She brought that up.
Well, I wrote it down for you. I have comfort food.
just
now.
asking says you've been a mystery for a long time.
Me. The ghost of a slave named Chloe haunts the Myrtles, sometimes described as a young African-American woman in a green turban, is said to roam the house, waking sleeping guests. Now, there is a movie. There's a book that Stephen King wrote. Maybe it was a screenplay, but it's called Rose Red.
It was loosely based off of this house.
It's
The
loosely
story-
based on this house, but also the Winchester house. Okay?
Well, haunted houses in general.
The spirits of a young woman and two little girls are said to be stuck in an old mirror in the entryway that was supposedly not covered as was tradition after their deaths. The mirror has had handprints on the glass that never clean away.
Yeah. They posed back in the day, they said you're supposed to cover the mirror after people died or like their souls would get stuck there. Or maybe it was just like a memory of them would get stuck there. I don't remember.
I'm just
exactly
asking
what it was.
says
Read the last part.
you've been a mystery for a long time, but no one has ever seen you.
No one's ever seen me? I've been in videos. I like when I sit down and plant
saw my
my
butt a couple
garden
times.
beds and when I uppotted this fall. Well, you know what also?
Why
Here's
did
the
you
thing.
move fire by me?
I got really, really overweight. I mean, I'm overweight. But I got really overweight and I was basically about to start dying. My kidneys were messing up. And I had kidney failure. I mean, the way I look, it's just now I could, I'm okay with it in the mirror. I've lost like 50 pounds, but I was so sick.
You are not.
I was so sick. I almost died. And I was on dialysis for 3 months. And I have permanent kidney damage, stage 3. But what, it means I'm not a party girl anymore. And let me tell you, I can't go out and get heat stroke and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm all right. I don't run around drinking soda. So that needed to stop anyway. I was a Diet Mountain Dew girl.
Drink that iced tea though.
I do drink iced tea. I like the
Spill
devil.
the tea.
But you girl, I gotta have caffeine, and I can't drink coffee. I can't drink coffee. It makes me sick. I had an ulcer once. I have medical issues. I have an autoimmune disorder. I get hives every 7 years for no reason. Now let me go ahead and keep on talking about the myrtles.
Okay. Okay, we finished off the mirror.
I'm trying to get okay on camera.
Okay. I guess I should intercede here. The story goes that Chloe murdered the woman and her 2 girls because the judge, who was their husband and father, supposedly cut off her ear. I don't remember why. Supposedly because something she did wrong, he cut off her ear, and she decided that she was going to hurt him back, and she poisoned like a cake and fed it to them, thus killing the woman and the 2 girls. Another story goes that she didn't get her ear cut off, and she didn't want to hurt them, but she was just trying to make them sick because they were getting older, and she was afraid that they wouldn't need her anymore.
But I think it was the guy.
But anyway.
The guy didn't want his wife and kids anymore, and so he blamed it on that poor girl.
No, what? History check. I don't have dates, and I'm not quite sure on names, but I do know stories. And I will say that what they do know is there was indeed a judge who had a wife and 2 daughters. They lost their girls, and the wife died too, I believe, later. She might have died before the girls, but I believe she died after them. Anyway, that happened. But what can't be accounted for is a slave girl named Chloe. Definitely there was no poisoning. Nobody poisoned nobody. They died. People died back then.
So how is it haunted?
People died because it was too cold. They died because people got sick. Anyway, it could be haunted because the girls died really young of illness.
So what do they see there?
They see the woman and her 2 girls in the mirror, or roaming around the house. These 2 little girls are
the
seen
ones
alive.
that are trapped in the mirror. That's creepy to be trapped in the mirror.
The mirror really exists, and there really is handprints on it that don't come clean, that are backwards, as if they're actually in the mirror.
Did you see Farmer Chaz's thing about Mountain Dew?
What's mine?
But her dad loves Mountain Dew. Just asking, said, he better leave that alone. How old is he?
Belle Biv DeVoe, that stuff is poison.
No.
And she says he makes me buy it when he comes to visit, and I make him take any extra home with it, pack it up, it gotta go.
That stuff is really bad. But I was a beer drinker too. I'm gonna be honest about that. But it'd be a toss up between the Diet Mountain Dew and the beer. See, I got a kidney stone that my body just couldn't pass. And it blew everything. It messed me up. And it got to where when I knew I started getting sick. I was throwing up and I was peeing blood. And I got to where I couldn't urinate at all anymore. And then that was it. That's enough of the scary stories for me. That's the scariest thing I've ever been through right there.
I'm talking about scary stories. Ghost stories.
I don't drink coffee. Farmer Chaz says she drinks coffee, but she don't drink beer. Just asking if she don't blame her. Farmer Chaz says beer tastes like wood.
There is
Wood. It tastes like bread, like yeasty.
Hey, there's Crooked Pete.
Crooked Pete!
Okay.
You'll have to go back and listen to my grandpa's story, Pete. And I know you've got experiences like that. You said you can smell your loved ones. It's like a hint, a whiff in the air. I don't know if I had anything like that, but
I can't smell normal stuff.
and I saw my grandpa, and it really scared me. It shouldn't have scared me, but it scared me.
Old Spice right above my head. Now, I could smell Old Spice. My grandpa loved it.
Old Spice.
Old Spice and,
Excuse me.
what was that other one? By Menon. I remember the commercial.
By Menon.
Yeah. Aqua Velva, was that what it was called?
Aqua Velva. Seabreeze?
No, that was Avon. That was for mosquitoes.
Can we tell my ghost story one more time?
Old spots of
For Peeps, I'll tell it for Peeps. I might get better on the retelling. Peeps, my grandpa died of Alzheimer's when I was 9. It would have been in the summer. I would have been turning 10. 1986. He served in World War II. I forgot to lay that out. I don't know what his specialty was supposed to be, but he was driving a general around. So I'm pretty sure he was like, number one, he was well protected, and number two, he was well thought of. And when my grandpa died, I don't remember if it was 700, over 1,000. For the area we grew up in was a small town, but he knew a lot. Like the local stockyard at McAllister, he knew a lot of people from that community doing horses and cows all his life, and they had lived there. My Uncle Jimmy was born there, so in the 60s, 50s. They've been there since the 50s. 140 acres. So anyway, my grandpa passed away, and we all come up for the funeral, and all that stuff goes on, and I go back home, and I wait for summer break, and then I go back out there. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this before. I believe the last 2 summers, like after they told me that he had Alzheimer's when I was 7, I didn't go out there a whole lot. Maybe holidays when my mom was with me. It was more of a controlled thing with him after it really went down, I do remember spending some time with him, but I'm not aware of how bad it got toward the end, and I'm kind of glad. So I decided to sleep in that bedroom, and I used to sleep with my grandpa in there. She never slept in there again, my grandma, which I find suspicious. Maybe. I mean, I haven't lost my spouse.
Because you said she stopped sleeping in there.
I haven't lost my spouse, so I don't know if I'd want to feel close or if I'd want to stay away. So I slept in there. Grandma had a hair drying chair in there because her sister's a hairdresser. I think they both passed, but I know my grandma's dead. I think Aunt Vera's dead too. But I wake up in the morning and I'm laying there taking stock and waking up really groggy, and I just look over. He's sitting there looking straight ahead with this like white cowboy hat, the summertime kind of cowboy hat, and an outfit, like a nice outfit. He always dressed. There was no t-shirts and jeans. He dressed like he would go and shake hands with you maybe somewhere. Not a suit and tie.
Like a button down in jeans?
Yeah, button down in jeans. And he was looking straight ahead, and I was just speechless. I didn't move. And he slowly just looked toward me, and I got out of there quicker than lightning. I ran down the hall, and I jumped up on the love seat. They were watching TV in the living room, and my grandma said, "What in the hell is wrong with you?" I said, "Nothing. Nothing is wrong." And I just kept it to myself. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anybody.
Well,
says,
you later said you told your grandma.
I told my grandma later. I'd had a child first. That's how long I waited.
Peach says total apparition. Wow.
She said, "Why were you scared?"
Yeah, why did you run? And to me, that is a very suspicious question.
Like, she wasn't really surprised.
This is the same woman who stopped.
Your grandpa never would have hurt you. I do know that.
Not really sure that was your grandpa, though, are you?
But I feel like it goes without saying
you
were scared and you ran because he's dead.
And it might have been a dream. I've always looked at it like I really think it was real.
Peach says she's never had an apparition, vocal only.
Yes, tell me a story.
She ran because that's not normal. I agree.
She ran because people are dead and they don't come back. That's why she ran.
That's what I said, because he's dead.
Her grandmother only asked, "Why did you run?"
I told her why I didn't tell her. I told her I didn't feel like you wanted to hear something like that.
I feel like she had to have seen it.
It's really dark on this screen.
Candles are kind of...
Turn the kitchen light on.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll be angled from one. We lit from one side.
Yeah, it started out creepy and cool.
Well, I wanted feet. See, I figure a lot of y'all might live east and no, not in here. I don't want good lighting in there.
When you're a vampire,
You know,
Oh,
there's actually pretty
when
good
you do
light.
your makeup for a specific look, you know.
I hate it when that happens.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's the porch light, you nut.
Over by the dryer.
I'm not doing nothing. But
It's all right. It's just dark. Y'all have any ghost stories? Because I wanted
Sorry.
Says, okay.
I wanted y'all to
Pete
share.
says her first experience was 5 years old, her grandmother's funeral. Farmer Chad says my great grandmother had this doll that I moved, and it made me feel like it was following me. So I took the doll's eyes out and covered the head.
Whoa.
Yes.
Pete
There was a
says
spirit
she
in
was
that
standing-
doll bar, Chad. You poked her eyes out.
Listen. Crooked Pete says I was standing right
That's
at the
what she
coffin.
gets.
It was an open coffin. My mother pinned on a little picture button of myself, my brother, and my sister. You know, those fancy 90s from back then.
90s.
And
Nice.
so I'm standing there with my mom, my brother, and my sister looking at her body, but she was talking to me. That is,
Like in your
I
head.
ran out of the church choking back the tears and just dusted in
Ooh.
confusion.
We do look a little freaky.
Did you tell anybody?
Is that helpful or does that make it more freaky? You don't want direct lighting, so I have to. You have to turn on another light.
You look like Ozzy Osbourne now.
Oh my God. Why can't it be like Janis Joplin? I want to look like Janis Joplin. You tell me I look like a
Farmer
man.
Chad says when I was little, my grandfather died. They lifted me and my sister over the grave when he was in to prevent bad dreams. I guess it worked. Oh, I agree with Peach. Oh, hell no.
That seems somewhat traumatizing.
He said Farmer Chad says she's never had a bad dream. I'll deal with dreams. Don't be hanging me over no grave.
See, I remember when my great grandma died. My great grandma, and I don't even remember which great grandma it was. I was so young. I've never had it really straight in my head, but they lifted me up and made me kiss her on the cheek. I didn't want to do that.
You guys asked me if I wanted to go see.
I didn't really understand what was going on. Y'all, I had to have been like 2 or 3, and probably the reason I remember that is because I don't know.
Oh, she said she never had a bad dream about him.
Oh, about him.
Y'all asked me if I wanted to go see Nan and Jim.
Pete says she talked to her mother about it. She acted like it was perfectly normal. When I was almost 10 years old, she told me to stop. It was freaking people out.
I touched my grandpa's cheek in the coffin. I remember that.
Her defense is about my precog abilities more than any contact with spirits. Now, Amanda has some precog stuff that would freak you out sometimes.
Do you remember Nan and Jean's funeral? You guys asked me if I wanted to go look at her. And, like, I felt weird saying no, so I remember saying yes. So I remember Dad, like, picked me up and took me over there and I looked down at her.
She was about as old as I was
I
when
was
she went to my grandma's
maybe like
funeral.
4 or 5.
She,
I remember looking down at her, though. and
they
I
had
remember
just
looking
stayed with
weird.
her the week before.
Farmer
I didn't
Chaz-
know whether I should have taken him to the funeral or not. You
Farmer
know?
Chad said, I've had bad dreams before, especially when the doll had eyes.
Don't they all have eyes?
I had a doll.
Don't the dolls always have
I had a
eyes?
doll looking at
Did
me
you not
one
hear a while
time.
ago, Haley? Her great great grandma had a doll that eyes moved, and she felt like it was following her, so she poked its eyes out
Oh,
and covered it up.
I feel like when they don't have eyes, it might be a little freakier than when they do. So it's just a face with no eyes.
I've had a dream that come true, Peeps. I had a dream that he was late for work. It was a stupid dream, right? I was
Hey,
mad at
no
him.
dead body.
Like, I made him get out of bed. Get out of my bed. You're going to get fired. You're not sleeping with me. He was, like, so upset because he wasn't late. But then my friend, we didn't have a phone at the time. We were poor. She come pull it up. You need to call work. They want you to come in at 6 p.m., not 6 a.m. I had been off, I guess, 12 hours. I woke him up at, like, 6:30 in the morning, you know. And he had worked late. It's like, are you crazy? Leave me alone. You're not gonna sleep here, then you go sleep somewhere
It's one of
else.
those porcelain dolls.
Yes, with the
Creepy
faces and the
Eyes that
hairs.
go and a towel over her head.
Probably had a little hat. They always had those absurdly long eyelashes. And what? If you laid it down, did it close its eyes? Mm-mm-mm.
The thing is, though, I feel like whatever was in that doll, you probably poked a hole in it and let it out. There you go.
Barbara Chaz is ruthless. She'll either shoot it or she'll
No,
poke
that
its eyes
was,
out.
Just asking, going to shoot it.
Oh, I was just asking. Barbara Chaz says she had.
I'll chase it, but I won't shoot it.
This has been really good. I'm so glad someone
Maybe I'll
showed
throw
up.
something at it.
Porcelain doll would have had a bat cane. That's what Pete said.
We were trying to do premieres before and didn't realize that we didn't have like something turned on, so nobody could have chimed in to say anything about the premiere anyway.
Just asking, said Chaz has heat too. He's ratting her out.
I knew she did. She got the look. She looked at you sideways. Who said she looks mean in them videos? That's her serious face. You know, she's I'm looking at you and I'm telling you a story. Listen to me face. She's not being mean. That's how I read it.
Or Chaz says she's got to go.
I love y'all. I just wanted a good hour, you know? So I got to get my watch time up, and I'm going to try to get more in videos and get over my body dysmorphia. I'm still heavier than I'd like.
Pete says she has precog all the time, and sometimes they freak her out. And I agree. It freaks me out. I mean,
I don't want to hear if you know something terrible about going to happen to me. Just know that I'm trying to take care of myself now, and I might be like a little bit of an herbal American, but that's as wild as I get. And I'm doing my best. My husband's had heart surgery too, so it's not like either one of us need to be doing anything crazy anymore. It's time to grow up, be
I work
adult.
on a rig. That's crazy.
Me personally, I appreciate the warnings every now and again. But like I'm taking it from all sides all the time. It'd be nice to know just once where one shot's coming from.
I don't want precog.
I don't want it all the time. Don't get me wrong.
I think
But now and again.
I have misfirings of a hint of it. Like somebody, I have a great
Raven.
grandma that was it a Chippewa? Indian.
Yes,
She's one of a kind.
Yeah, she's one of, and also I got Scottish and Irish blood. A little bit. I'm a little bit African American. I'm a little bit Egyptian. I'm a little bit Italian. And a little bit Portuguese. I believe a lot of those peeps have, you know, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live or whatever. But you know, in traditions of every culture, there are Indian shamans.
Pete
you know,
says, glad to see you on. Glad
witch
I called you.
doctors. I'm going to go ahead and end it.
She wasn't sure she's going to open this because she wasn't sure what you was talking about. She don't like scary stories. Stop
Not
hiding your
scary
face.
stories.
Stories.
That never happened.
I'm sorry.
Nothing ever happened to me that was scary.
Hey.
And I'm the kind that would just take it in and, yeah, I might leave the room.
I was scared that night at Mountain Station Cemetery. I know it wasn't nothing. It wouldn't end up being a cow, not a ghost, but I was pretty scared. And I wasn't scared, but I was freaked out at the crescent.
And this was just an excuse, you know, to get me a topic that I'm fascinated by ghost stories and stuff. And
so what are we doing next week?
I'm going to do UFOs next week. I held up
Go, Pete. She says she's a lot herbal.
They're UAPs now.
UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Pete says she's a lot herbal.
A lot herbal. I might be a lot herbal.
Lavender?
So next week, if you know anybody if you have a great UFO story, I have never been taken. I have just seen things.
Taken.
One time we heard a thing. So let's save that for next week. Also, it might be Friday because my other daughter's coming to town, and she's had
At least I'm not the other daughter.
She's had a supernatural kind of podcast. Might be a reason why I had the idea. No, like I said, this is just a topic. I'm not all into this stuff, I swear. I love you guys for even coming. Because I was so afraid no one would. Peace! I love you much. Next time, Peach, come. Come sooner. I know you've got more great stories. I know you've seen a UFO. I love y'all for
Or
coming.
UFO.
My heart. And I will pay y'all back and I'll be your things. Peace, guys. Cut me off. Cut me off.